Hello. This is Lifeseeker 128, and I am playing Fallout, A Tale of Two Wastelands, and Rebuild the Capital for such.
Hello.
Mods. Big mods with big quests, doing big things, and talking to lots of people that don't have spoken lines. Case in point, this guy. Well met, Field Marshal. So I will be narrating every single line that I come across. Or any that I want to, anyway. While I have bell peppers and beef on the side because I'm having dinner. Ugh. Why is the voice add-on having an agility roll? I'm a little confused. Anyway, I am Scribe Finney, researcher of T51 series of power armor here at the Academy. May the wisdom of the elders be with you. So, I am at the Free Research Center, or Research Academy, which is where they put all the scribes now in the Brotherhood of Steel for this Rebuild the Capital mod. It's kind of a locus for all the eggheads in the game, more or less, and adding a lot more that have their own research going on and want you to help, apparently. And I am only in the Order of the Shield, and there are two others that I have yet to see or talk to. So anyway, here we go. Any project you need help on? Yes, Field Marshal. There's one task you could help me with. I devoted my life to study of power armor and its sacred relationship with the Brotherhood of Steel. Through divine providence, I have come across an ancient document that tells of a power armor design once thought to be lost to time. Ultrasight power armor, designed by scribes ages ago and forged using the rare and eponymous material known as ultrasight. I've heard rumors that there is a small deposit of ultrasight somewhere in the Capital Wasteland. This deposit must be secured in order to once more forge this forgotten power armor. Where would I even start looking for ultrasight? That is the problem. I have no idea where the ultrasight deposit could be. Thankfully, using a small amount of ultrasight bought from a trader, I have been able to build a scanner that can detect ultrasight deposits. Travel to obvious locations like caves, caverns, and warrens, and use the scanner to see if any deposits of ultrasight can be found nearby. Okay, I will look for deposits of ultrasight. Perfect. Here's the scanner you can use to detect readings of ultrasight. Once you find a deposit, bring me back a sample, and I will send a team to collect the rest. May the elders guide you, Field Marshal. How is research on this series of power armor? I make progress every day on unlocking the secrets of power armor. I am blessed to have the knowledge of the forebears with me as I so humbly improve upon their designs. The T-51 will continue to serve as the pride of the Brotherhood's armory, as it has since the days of Maxon. You seem to take your job rather seriously. Of course I do. The job of a scribe is a sacred one. Many scribes today may forget the traditions that have shaped and guided us through the generations. They seem to think of themselves as scientists, but we are so much more than mere researchers. We are scribes. And that is title a title that comes with many duties and rights. Do the scribes have work on power armor share research? I'm always happy to share my research with my fellow scribes. However, it is difficult to collaborate when my peers, Scribe Fraser and Scribe Mullen, so often fail to share my reverence for our work. They seem to believe that power armor is only a piece of metal with complicated wiring. That power armor is no different than any other piece of equipment. They fail to show power armor the respect it deserves as the technological relic that it is. Okay, later. Well, he's a bit of a nut job, but I don't know.
What's up?
Ewing, hi, what you up to? Field Marshal, it is a pleasure to meet you. I am Journeyman Ewing, or Ewing. Ewing? Devoted student of the Order of the Shield. Odor of the Shield? Good God. How can I be of assistance? So, this mod is fraught with grammatical and wording errors. But it is a mod. I heard you are in charge of the Order of Shield's robotics project. I sure am, Field Marshal, and I'll be happy to tell you about my project if you would allow me the pleasure of doing so. Go right ahead. Thank you, Field Marshal. This will be well worth your time, I assure you. My project involves the creation of autonomous suits of power armor. We start by implanting a central processing unit in the power helmet and inserting circuitry throughout the power armor's frame. Then you end up with a heavily armored bipedal robot. It's a simple yet effective design. What do you think, Field Marshal? Sounds interesting. What do you need? The Brotherhood does not have much in the way of robotics tech, and what we do have is mainly directed towards repairing Liberty Prime. What I need for the project is military-grade robotics hardware. Robots the Brotherhood won't do, as most are running scavenged or retrofitted parts. You will need to find a military robot that has been operating out in the wastes since before the bombs dropped. Once you find a robot with green army paint, just scavenge the necessary parts from it and bring them back to me. Okay. Fantastic. Parts should be from any army robot, regardless of the model, Protectron or SentryBot, it doesn't matter. I would avoid any robot that has been reprogrammed or tampered with in any way. Just find an army robot that has been patrolling since before the war. Once you scavenge the parts, just bring them back to me and I will do the rest. I've got more questions. How goes life? My life is going well right now. I have much to learn. My senior scribe O'Gallagher. I have much to learn from senior scribe O'Gallagher and the other scribes at the Academy. What made you join the Order of the Shield? I was adopted into the Brotherhood of Steel at a very young age. Ever since I first arrived at the Citadel, I have been fascinated by power armor. The Order of the Shield was an obvious choice for someone like me. There is no place I would rather be in the wasteland. Thoughts on this? I feel very fortunate to be allowed to study here under some of the greatest minds in the Brotherhood. There are few in the wasteland who have been afforded as many chances as I have, and I plan to take full advantage of the opportunities here. Robotics. I need military-grade parts. Yep. Anybody else around in the area that's cool with things going missing? This terminal has a white paint job, and I don't know why. I'm confused. Am confused. Alright, what was I... Fuck. Game crash. Alright, what we got? Okay, we got it. Get in there.
Hello?
Did I... Oh, fuck. This is just after talking to Finney and before talking to Ewing. Run ahead, do this, help, yeah, more questions, etc. Do these and those and those and these and. Alright, fine. Monitor white for some reason. Apprentice Klein here, we're good. Okay, what are we doing? Fuck. Okay, so what's down here? Maintenance. Footman Archer. Oh, hello, Field Marshal. I didn't expect to see you down here, but I guess what they say is true. You really do explore everywhere. Anything I can do for you? Field Marshal asking me if I need a favor. Well, gee, let me think. Tell you what, there's nothing I really need. My job here is pretty simple. But hey, if you're offering, I'd love it if you would autograph my helmet. Something to show the family back home, you know. Let them know I met the Lone Wanderer. Sure, why not? I'll sign your helmet. Really? Here's my helmet. Sign it however you want. Field Marshal, Lone Wanderer, your name, whatever. This is pretty cool. Signed, Daniel, the Lone Wanderer. Yeah. Okay, I signed your helmet. Oh, great, thank you. Do you mind if I take a look? Here's your helmet back. Nice. You signed it Lone Wanderer. Well, Lone Wanderer, I want you to have my old rifle. It is no use to me in these tunnels. Just wait till the fellas in my unit get a look at this. Well, that was quick. What are your duties? I keep an eye on the maintenance tunnels. Hold on. TCL, 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 TCL. Okay. Keep an eye on the maintenance tunnels and try to keep out any critters that might make their nest in here. Pretty quiet mostly, except sometimes I hear footsteps late at night. Doesn't sound like mole rats, and I know those old bastards, Galvan and Sullivan, can't stay awake past midnight. Probably a couple of young scribes getting up to no good. Down here alone? Oh no, although some days I wish I were. I'm stationed here with Smith Galvin and his buddy Sullivan. A couple of cranky old bastards, but apparently they're inseparable. They keep the generators running, but boy, do they give me a headache. What made you join the Order of Footmen? I was promised warm food, clean water, and a handful of caps. I'm not quite sure the Brotherhood has lived up to its propaganda, to be honest. All their technology, but they still can't cook worth a damn. I'm pretty sure these MREs were found in a rusted Edomatic. And I'd probably make more caps just from drinking Nuka-Cola. But hey, the clean water is nice. Where were you stationed before? My unit was sent into the ruins. Saw some pretty nasty fighting and got hit by a fistful of shrapnel. Really tore me up, but I can't afford to lose these caps I'm getting with the Brotherhood. So, I convinced my superior to put me on guard duty until my wounds heal up. Then I will head back into the fray with my unit. Fascinating. A looking glass is a weapon. Huh. Is it at least scoped? Probably, if by the sounds of it, it probably is. I don't really know none. Okay, well, that one's... Yeah, well, okay, fine. Hey, Sullivan. What? Are you talking to me? Listen, I'm busy cleaning up after Galvin's mess. You're sure what you need to say to me is important? You don't look like you're with the Brotherhood. No, I'm with Galvin, but I do most of the real work around here. He's the old man in the real jumpsuit, going around calling himself a smith. Whatever the hell that means, how he managed to land a job working with engineering is beyond me. I guess the Brotherhood has low standards. So, once again, I am following him on his adventure and cleaning up after the mess he leaves behind. Everything running smoothly? Of course, things aren't running smoothly down here. Of course, things aren't running smoothly down here. That dumb old bastard Galvin placed the wrong fuses in the wrong junction boxes, and now the power is on the fritz. I tried telling him he did not know a lick about electricity, but he insisted. Hold on. Food good. Already got enough of his messes to clean up around here, and I ain't got time for this one. You Brotherhood fools hired Galvin, made him a smith, so you deal with his mess. I don't have time for it. Sure, I'll help. How did Sullivan manage to... What? Sullivan? Why Sullivan? Not Sullivan. Galvin put the wrong things in the wrong places. Sure, I guess I will help. Good. It's really easy to fix, but I'll walk you through it step by step, okay? Just place the correct fuses in the correct junction boxes. You can handle that, can't you? Junction boxes got your fancy symbol on it, so they should be easy to find. Once you've reorganized the fuses, use the switchboard near the generators to restart the power. One last thing, the junction boxes got locks on them, but of course Galvin lost the damn key. You can either pick the lock or find the key. I'm sure it is around here somewhere. You get all that? I'll assume you did, since you look like you got a good head on your shoulders. Need something? Have you known Captain for a long time? I've known him my whole damn life. We were both orphans from Little Lamplight. And when it was time for him to leave for Big Town at age 16, I left with him even though I was only 13. I knew he wouldn't survive for long out there without me, and I've been following him across the wasteland ever since. Even in his old age, he still finds bizarre adventures to get himself wrapped up in, like this whole brotherhood nonsense. You two sound like good friends. Back in my day, friendship was the best thing you could have out in the wasteland. Someone you could trust and rely on was rarer and more valuable than clean water. I look out for Sullivan, and he looks out for me. And I look out for him some more because his slow mind needs the extra help. Whose slow mind are we talking about, Sullivan? Why didn't you become a smith? Join the Brotherhood? Bah, I'm too old for that nonsense. I thought Galvin was too, but apparently I was wrong. Why are you here exactly? Because Galvin is here. Hold on. And if he is someplace without me, trust me, he won't last very long. You should thank me for being here because Galvin doesn't know a thing about repair and maintenance. He was determined to join, but I was sure the Brotherhood would reject him. But I guess you guys are really scraping the barrel these days. Not scrapping, scraping. That or Galvin is a better liar than I thought. Drunken boxes? Good lord, kid, you got gunk in your ears? Or have you got the memory of a rat roach? Either way, I'll explain it again. You need to rearrange the fuses so that they are blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Got it? Cool. I want to talk to Galvin about this. Because it sounds fun. Let's see what's in here. What? How am I losing karma with that? The fuck is this shit? Okay, so apparently I didn't get it. Or it's not... Okay, hold up. Okay, never mind. Quarter of its sword is there. So they're all connected by the same network of tunnels. I don't want to steal anything, but I might have to. Fix... The wiring electrical work inside this junction box is an absolute mess. You can fix it. Some scrap electronics and attempt to jury rig. Attempt to jury rig. Successfully jury rigged the junction box. Retrieve the fuses. Jesus Christ. I lost karma. Why? That is some bullshit. Where is Galvin so I can talk to him about this kind of bullshit? Order of the Quill. Where doth the old man be? Very easy to pick these locks. Not my problem if they are reducing my karma, though. here's the generator. Kind of. Dude. Stop dinging me for doing my job. Smith Galvan is in the area. Oh. Hello. Sullivan Galvan. Howdy, name's Smith Galvan. What can I do for you? Told me you broke the junction boxes. Did he say that? Ha! What a jokester. What do you work on? I do what I can. If there's a leaky pipe, I try to tighten it, and if there's a busted generator, well, I try to fix it. Whatever I can do to keep the lights on for the brains upstairs. You seem a bit old to be a smith. Those aren't the nicest words I've heard today, but I suppose that's a fair assessment. But I wanted to do something that kept me busy and kept my mind active. I just joined, and this here is my first post. Pretty fun being with the Brotherhood. So was Sullivan. Well, Sullivan and I go way back. He told me it was a bad idea to join the Brotherhood at this age, but I convinced him it would be good for me. But he still insisted on coming with me. What a guy, huh? Says you don't understand how to repair things. How did you become a smith? Sullivan said that. I've been working with all sorts of electronics my whole life, from toasters to Mr. Handies. I'm just a bit out of practice, that's all. That's what I told the Brotherhood recruiter, and it seemed a good enough explanation for him. Next thing you know, I've got a fancy new red jumpsuit with grease stains included. A red jumpsuit. Why aren't you wearing your red jumpsuit? Mysterious. Mysterious, old man. Alright, so we unlocked A. Here's the switchboard. E. B is empty. C is empty because I took everything. I could probably turn that off. So. Right, A is there, and we did unlock that. F is empty. Okay, D needs work. Okay. Time to have more food. Alright. Electrical switch? Why? F. Okay, so do we have fuse A is a good question. Okay, how about this? You need to turn off auto collection. Fuse A, go in box A. Fuse E goes in box E. Box F is on this level. Box A is there, E, and the switchboard, which we should go up a level now, or up a couple. Put D in D. And put we did E. B. B. And then C. Alright, and now the switchboard. Okay. Alright, looks good to me. I don't really know. And it's a negative and no, to the affirmative. Field Marshal? Fixed it. I heard the power restart. Good work. I don't get a reward? You know, when I was your age, the only reward life gave me was not dying of radiation poisoning. But here, how about a beer for your hard work? Surely you can appreciate that. You can keep the bottle cap and spend it on something nice. Great, I got the experience at least. The experience was the reward. Oh man. I'm thinking I should check out the other orders. And might as well be sword. Oops. Collector back on, please. Thank you. Okie-doke. Whatever, it's fine. I want to go in here first. Oh, hey. Sergeant Schmidt. Oh, into the practice range, Field Marshal. Feel free to fire off a few rounds. Not that you need the practice, of course. Well, you don't really know. For your duties, I've been charged with looking after the gun range. I thought it would be pretty simple work, but the way some of the scribes handle their experiments makes me nervous. I have to explain to them that they can't test out their death ray on my practice dummies, or else they will bring down the entire building. Okay. Where were you posted before? This is actually my first post with the Brotherhood of Steel since joining up. Because my experience as a merc, I got offered a higher rank and pay as Sergeant at Arms. I thought for sure I would be sent into the DC ruins, but instead I landed a desk job. Can't say this is what I expected service in the Brotherhood of Steel to be like, but I'm not complaining. Got a spare Sarah? What? Sure do, Field Marshal. Have you tried these Grand Dominion smokes? They are not too bad. Fuck.
Okay.
Scribe Vree, the Elder. You must be the Field Marshal. I have heard so much about you. But help me get the facts straight about you. Are you more brains or more brawn? I like to think I'm rather good at thinking. I would assume so, given who your father was. Although I would never presume to tie you to your parents' legacy. Trust me, I know how that is. Now, what can I help you with? Can you tell me more about your research? Both my sister and I research energy weapons. I study laser weaponry while she studies plasma technology. Trust me, it is very in line with her personality for my sister to study green goo. But I'm getting off track. Say, why don't you join me in a display of sibling rivalry? I know my sister has some rather interesting research stored away on her terminal. Why don't you borrow it for me, and I'll reward you with one of my prototype weapons? How should I go about stealing your sister's research? Like I said, it is probably stored on her terminal, but it won't be easy for you to access the data. My sister had a journeyman from the Order of the Quill install the high-tech security software onto her terminal. Once I found out, I, of course, had him install it onto my terminal, too. Why not just work together with your sister and share research with each other? What? I said you should collaborate with your sister. You don't happen to be an only child, do you? If I shared my notes with my sister, she would just plagiarize my research and take all of the credit. Besides, it's better if I decide which of her notes is useful and what is just nonsensical drivel. It's easier for everyone, really. I guess I'll see what I can do. That's the spirit, Field Marshal. You could try to hack the terminal, but don't expect it to be easy. Might be best to talk to the journeyman who installed the security software. I think his name is Khan. Was Khan? Yeah, that's right. Journeyman Khan. You can find him in the Order of Quill's building next door. I'll let you figure it out. Is it a coincidence that this academy is named after an ancestor of mine, famous scribe? I come from a long line of scribes stretching back to early days of Brotherhood of Steel, and my family continues to wear the velvet robes. My twin sister, Scribe Vree, the younger, works on plasma technology in the office across from mine, and my mother, Senior Scribe Vree, oversees the Order of the Swords research here at the Academy. Although not everyone in my family has chosen the life of a scribe, my youngest sister chose to be a knight. Not sure why she didn't want to be a scribe, but it seems to be working out for her. She's now a knight captain and runs security here. Do you enjoy working with your family? I would prefer it if I had the chance to work alone. I sometimes get the feeling that most people think I am only here because of my mother, as if my research doesn't speak for itself. But I would be foolish to say that having such a famous last name doesn't come with benefits when you are a scribe. I mean, I'm no Max, but I'm sure my last name has opened a few doors for me. What are you working on? Study energy weapons, doodly-doo, doodly-da. Okay. Fine. Not a whole lot. Nah. Nah, I don't need to. Vree the Elder. Hi. I am here to look at and maybe steal a few things. Hello. Greetings, Field Marshal. I am Senior Scribe Vree, head researcher of the Order of the Sword at the Academy. Have a look around, but please do not impede the research of any of the scribes. I don't plan to. One of your daughters asked me to steal research data from the other. Sounds to me like a bit of healthy competition. You really believe that your daughters are just engaging in healthy competition? Of course I do. My daughters are some of the brightest minds in the Brotherhood of Steel. They have gotten to where they are because they always push each other to be their very best. And besides, as long as their work doesn't suffer because of their competition, I see no reason to intervene. They are not children anymore. They can make their own choices. You manage the Order of the Sword. As my title would suggest, I am the most senior scribe here, at least in terms of rank. Both Scribe Macy and Scribe Long are older than I am, but they have chosen to refuse promotion so they might focus on their research. I certainly admire their dedication to their work, but I gladly accept taking a large role in guiding the Order of the Sword. Most of the scribes here, thankfully, do not require much oversight, so I let them research how they wish. So long as they meet their research quotas, I leave them alone. But they know I expect only the best from them. Are you the very that... No, the Academy was named after an ancestor of mine, a notable scribe who served as head of the Order during a large war with supermutants in the West. I have been blessed enough to pass down that matronymic weird. I've not heard that term to my 3 daughters, all of whom you can find working here at the Academy. What can you tell me about your daughters? Field Marshal, I am more than just their mother, and they are more than just my daughters. If you want to inquire about them, I suggest you speak to them yourself. However, I will tell you that my twin daughters are both accomplished scribes in their field of study, and my youngest daughter is serving the Brotherhood in her own unique way. Please don't mistake my lack of coddling as a lack of love or pride for my daughters. I like to think I've raised them well enough to stand on their own. Very good point. Do you work with the other scribe orders here? I prefer to keep the research of my scribes separate from the other orders. If the other senior scribes wish to take offense to that, then that is their choice. Are you researching anything? When I am not administrating, I enjoy studying Gauss weaponry, a frequently overlooked technology. As of right now, I'm working on reducing the recoil from the Gauss rifle in a way that is not at the expense of firepower. Thank you for asking, Field Marshal. I think it is important to maintain my research while also fulfilling my responsibility as a senior scribe. Okay. Later? I guess you don't need any help with your research? Yeah? Maybe? I don't know. Enough. Just a regular old night. Okay. So I think I found the FEV lab, more or less. I think everybody's about to go to bed. Shit. Okay. How about a 12-hour wait for everybody to get back up? Hey, you. Hello, Field Marshal. How do you do? I am Scribe Massey, leading expert on all things supermutant. What can I do for you? I've dealt with plenty of supermutants. Maybe I can help you with your research? Yes, I've heard about your exploits and adventures involving. Although the destruction of Vault 87 while a blessing to the wasteland, no doubt, was certainly not a boon to my research, it would seem the Brotherhood has developed a habit of destroying enemy bases rather than taking them for research. But I digress. There is one thing you could help me in my studies if you are interested. What can I help with? I have studied supermutants in the West, and those in the East are different in many ways. One such difference is the Eastern supermutants' tendency to constantly grow. They eventually seem to reach the size of behemoths, but right now I am interested in those nicknamed overlords. If you would go out into the wasteland and bring me back a brain sample from one of these overlords. Sounds easy enough. For someone so experienced in the slaying of supermutants, I would think so. Kill an overlord, while keeping its skull in one piece, of course, and bring me back a sample of its brain. You'll need a knife to cut through its thick skull, maybe even a chainsaw. Here's a jar that you can place the brain matter in to keep it preserved. How long have you studied supermutants? I have studied the unique anatomy of supermutants since I was a young apprentice on the West Coast. When I was born, the war against the supermutants at Mariposa was still fresh in memory, and much attention was given to their study. However, as I grew older, the threat of supermutants had diminished greatly as their numbers dwindled and they scattered across the wastes. The focus turned towards battling new threats like the Enclave, who had sunk their talons into California before their retreat to the capital. I soon thought my research would soon be nothing but studying the bones of a near-extinct species. How wrong I was when I joined the expedition to the east and found a new horde of supermutants waiting to be studied. What is the difference? Western and Eastern supermutants were born from two separate strains of the FEV, so there are many differences that distinguish them. There are some distinguishing physical features such as skin pigment, facial structure, the distribution of growth hormones, etc. But both races of supermutants are creatures of immense size and brute strength. The most significant difference, however, is with their mental aptitude. While both races are composed primarily of half-wits, supermutants with higher reasoning skills are more common in the West. These smarter few formed a sort of officer class, resulting in a hierarchical structure at the top of which was the FEV horror called the Master. As far as my research suggests, no equivalent to the Master has been found in the East, unless, of course, it is buried in the rubble of Vault 87. And while the big May boss... While the big May boss around, though smaller, the command structure is loose, if existent at all. I would say the supermutants here operate as a sort of hive mind, but then again the destruction of Vault 87 has upended all my research. How has the destruction of 87 infected it? The destruction of 87 has me questioning everything I thought I knew. Where once I thought Eastern supermutants were a collective force, they now fight as warring clans. If there was a method to their madness, you broke that method when you blew up their vault. Their entire nature has changed, with more supermutants exhibiting individualistic traits when once they all acted as one unified group. For now, these warring tribes of supermutants seem more focused on fighting each other, but I must warn you, I doubt this will last. I suspect that one day one supermutant will rise above the rest and unite the fractured horde, like a shepherd gathering lost flock. I can only hope the Brotherhood is ready when such a day comes and the supermutants come roaring back with a vengeance. Later. Alakazam. Do you talk? Oops. No, not what I meant to do. Do you talk? Supermutant points to the piece of junk metal attached to his arm, then points to your Pip-Boy. That is a nice-looking Pip-Boy you've got there. What model is that? Mine is a 2000 series. Always nice to meet a fellow Vault Dweller. My name is Pip. Good to meet you, Pip. Good to meet you as well. Have you had a chance to speak to the old lady? She is very talkative, or at least likes talking with me. It is good to have someone to speak with. What would you like to chat about? Can I ask some questions? Of course, I love to go. You seem pretty calm considering you're a test subject in a prison cell. Prison? Test subject? I am here as the old lady's guest. She even gave me my own room. It's right space. It's a tight space. Reminds me of the vault. I'm enjoying myself. Called yourself a Vault Dweller? Well, can't you tell by my Pip-Boy? Supermutant motions to the piece of metal on his arm. I'm from Vault 87. Have you ever had the chance to visit? It is a quaint little hole in the ground. My home, however, is no more. I've been on the search for a new vault to call home. So far, I have not found a vault that compares to 87's charm. How have things changed since you lost your home? Much has changed, human. All supermutants once lived happily in Vault 87, but now we have scattered into the wasteland. It saddens me greatly to see supermutant fighting supermutant. We used to fight for the future, whatever that meant. I want these days of fighting to be over. I want to find a new vault to call home. I am hoping that after talking with the old lady, she might point in the direction of a vault. Have you always been this prone to conversation? Why, well, I want to say yes, but my memory of my life before I lost my home is faded. Can't really remember who I was. I remember fighting. That was good fun. I don't enjoy it as much, though, these days. I remember the comforting walls of Vault 87, and that is about it. I guess having a nice conversation is a recent joy I have discovered. There's something else. Get going. Hi. What can you tell me about the supermutant in your lab? Oh yes, Subject 12. A rather curious specimen. What do you wish to know? How did you manage to get a supermutant? It is rare that one can speak to a supermutant person. Subject 12 was discovered in an abandoned vault by a team of yeomen exploring in the area. Rather than attack the yeomen, it struck up a conversation and began asking them what they thought about the vault. Subject 12 explained it was house hunting and had been looking for a new vault to live in. The yeomen, acting under orders not to engage without first being engaged, were unsure what to do when they were being engaged, albeit in conversation. They radioed into High Command, who then contacted me, and I instructed them to escort the subject to me. You know that subject has a name, right? It's Pip. Field Marshal, please do not indulge in such absurd behavior. Subject 12 is neither a person nor a pet. It is a biological weapon bred for war that is culpable for acts that are best summarized as genocidal. Still, it is rather interesting that it named itself. What sort of research have you been doing on the supermutant? As of right now, only oral interviews and a few brain scans here and there. Hold on, I need my meds. I want to know how this new generation of supermutants thinks. And in doing so, hopefully determine what their next course of action will be. The research so far has had mixed results. The subject has difficulty putting into words its existence before the destruction of Vault 87. All it cares to speak of now is its quest for a new vault to call home. Should this supermutant be sent to Vernon Town? Ah, yes, Vernon Town. I heard about your treaty with that supermutant Washington. May Maxon strengthen me. I can barely stomach those words. Anyhow, I assure you that Subject 12 is being held here willingly and is being kept comfortable. When I have finished my research, I promise it will be sent to Vernon Town, where it might live with the rest of its kind. Okay. Go ahead, Field Marshal. Okay. Alright. Hey, Ponder. Hello, Field Marshal. Do I salute, or is that just for knights? Anyhow, I am Apprentice Ponder, and I help Scribe Macy with her supermutant research. Can I help you with something? You study supermutants? Yes, but right now my main focus is to study of centaurs. I am hoping a research paper I am currently working on will earn me the rank of journeyman. Centaurs are as fascinating as they are disgusting. Why didn't you tell me about centaurs? Centaurs are what happen when you throw miscellaneous body parts into a vat of FEV. It's unclear if centaurs are created purposely or are simply the byproduct of the FEV mutation process. Regardless, they seem to have the same level of intelligence as a common dog, and as such, supermutants tend to keep them around as pets. Centaurs seem to exist and fulfill the same roles in supermutant communities found on both the East and West Coast. Although the reason for this common practice among supermutants has yet to be determined, I assume it has to do with waste reduction and recycling, as morbid as that may seem. What's with the supermutant? I'm guessing you mean Pip, although don't let Scribe Macy hear you call him that. I'm not sure I feel that comfortable working around him, but he seems friendly enough. It's bizarre to say the least. How do you like working for Scribe Macy? She is great to apprentice under. You would be hard-pressed to find anyone more knowledgeable about supermutants than her. She also seems to care about what I have to say, which is nice. I certainly don't envy Apprentice Greenlee, who is apprenticing under Scribe Fuller, or Journeyman Null, or Journeyman Horsley, who are forced to work in what is basically a crowded closet. Life is rough before you get your scribe robes. Most in the Order of the Sword look down on you, and Senior Scribe Free expects only the best. Still, there is nowhere else I would rather be. Alright. Carry on. Bleh. Bleh.
What's up?
No. You must be the field marshal. Never thought I would ever meet you. My name is Journeyman Null. If you see a guy fumbling around with guns, that is my peer, Journeyman Horsley. Can I help you with anything? What projects are keeping you busy? I have been studying the weapons made in the wasteland, usually from spare parts and duct tape. The type of weapons you might find the schematics for floating around. The other scribes may be interested in these wasteland weapons. Well, maybe uninterested, okay. But I think there is much we can learn from them. I suppose. Very improvised, I would say. I just have a hard time getting my hands on these weapons to study them. Feels odd asking the field marshal for help, but perhaps you might be interested in helping a journeyman with his research. Sure, I can find these weapons for you. Really? Wow. Wasn't expecting you to agree. 3 weapons I'm most interested in are the cryolator, the railway rifle, and the dart gun. Let me write this down. Free Research Academy. And that should be a heading. Journeyman Null. Cryolator, railway rifle, dart gun. Save. Alright. If you bring me these weapons, I can work on formalizing their design into something a bit more military grade. What do you study? My interest in weapons designed by wastelanders, from something as simple as a pipe pistol to as advanced as a bottle cap mine. I think there is a lot to learn from weapons created out of necessity. Scribes upstairs are only interested in advanced energy weapons, so my work is often overlooked. Not sure how I managed to convince Senior Scribe Free of the validity of my research, but who knows, maybe it will earn me my scribe robes one day. Enjoying your time? I try to focus on my research, but it's not easy when Horsley and I are forced to work in such a cramped space. I understand we are just journeymen, but I know the journeymen in other orders are treated far better. I was getting coffee with Journeyman Dowling from the Order of the Quill, and she has her own office. Can you believe that? That's the Order of the Sword for you, at least here under Senior Scribe Free. What can you tell me about Journeyman Horsley? What's there to say about Horsley? My workmate was sent down here after he nearly blew up the top floor from overcharging a laser pistol. I didn't even think such a thing was possible, but I guess that's why he works on ballistics now. About it. No, not yet. Okay. Horsley, hi. Field Marshal, good to meet you, big fan. Journeyman Horsley, researcher of all things gunpowder. You have any prototypes you are working on? Well, yes, actually. I was designing a sidearm for knights. And this is a bit embarrassing, but my prototype was confiscated by Sergeant Schmidt at the gun range. You know, since you're the field marshal, maybe you could pull rank and convince him to return it to me. Why did the sergeant confiscate your weapon? So I was taking my pistol down to the shooting range. I wanted to make sure the slide was working. And after firing a few shots, I stopped to inspect the gun, and, well, I guess I should have paid a bit more attention where I was pointing the barrel. Listen, I'm not a knight like my sister, so I'm still getting used to handling guns, and after all, accidents happen. But anyway, Dr. Hermes got the bullet out Sergeant Smith's arm, and I don't even think it did that much damage. But yes, after that incident, I mean accident, Sergeant Schmidt confiscated my prototype pistol. I'll see what I can do. Thank you so much. You can find Sergeant Schmidt in the gun range on the first floor of this building. And not that I am advocating theft or anything, but he probably stashed the pistol in the armory next to his desk. Again, thank you so much, Field Marshal. I appreciate the trust you've put into my work. You said you studied gunpowder weapons. That's correct, Field Marshal. Some might call it an antiquated science due to energy weapons hogging the spotlight, but I think there is still much to learn about ballistics. That's not to say I wouldn't start researching energy weapons again if given the chance. How did you end up studying firearms? I originally assisted the Ryu sisters upstairs in the research of energy weapons. However, due to an incident involving overcharged energy cells, it was decided my skills are best suited to the study of ballistics. So I got transferred downstairs, and now I have this great little workspace. What can you tell me about Journeyman Null? For someone who spends his days studying junk, Null sure is full of himself. I just wish he could clean up his workspace. I'm getting tired of tripping over a steam gauge assembly or a broken vacuum cleaner. He looks like a madman trying to duct tape all that junk together to make a gun. Wait a minute, can't you make another? Not really. I took notes on the prototype's design, but now I'm having difficulty reading my handwriting, and, well, it would just be easier to get the gun back. Okay. Another oversized terminal right there. And another, I think. I may be imagining things. I'm not going down there. We're going to the firing range. Hey, Schmidt. Anything I can do for him? I came to talk to you about giving Journeyman Horsley back his gun. That kid nearly blew my arm off. Like hell, I'm giving his gun back. Little shit doesn't understand trigger discipline, muzzle discipline, hell, any sort of discipline, really. It's safer for everyone here if I keep the gun under lock and key. Designing guns that'll keep our boys safe. What if I give Horsley some pointers on where to point guns? I will return the pistol if you can teach Horsley some proper gun etiquette. Sounds fair enough. You two can practice in the gun range. Sounds good. Education is key. Hello? Do you need something? Surgeon will return your pistol if you practice with me at the gun range. Shooting at the gun range? I suppose I could learn how to use a gun. Okay, I'll meet you at the range and we can talk. Doopy-doopy-doo, doopy-doo, around here. Okay. Yeah. Alright. First things first. Hi. Alright, Field Marshal, what are you going to show me? I'm going to shoot those 3 targets. Alright, I'm watching and taking notes. Alright. Get a ballistic weapon here. Somewhere. I need a pistol. Hold up. Or I don't. It doesn't matter, I guess.
I hope you know what you're doing.
You hit all the targets. You should talk to Journeyman Horsley and see what he learned. Questions? That was some impressive shooting, Field Marshal. Okay. Now you try, but just watch where you point your gun, okay? Of course. Down the range and not at you. Got it. Hey. That was good. So how do you think I did? Not bad. Just keep practicing and you'll get it. Really? You think so? I feel like I'm starting to remember everything I learned during those couple of weeks of training I did with Paladin Gunny, although you're not yelling at me, which is nice. Will you go ask Sergeant Schmidt if he will return my prototype pistol now? Alright, fine. I can do that. Hey you. Can I help you? I taught Horsley how to handle a gun, so I noticed. He still seems a bit stiff to me, but I suppose if he keeps practicing, he'll get the hang of it. Here is his gun back. I just hope what you taught him sticks. I'd rather not get shot again. Okay. Hey, Mr. Horsley. Anything I can do? Pistol. Great, thank you so much, Field Marshal. I promise I will exercise much more caution with firearms in the future. Let me take a few notes on this prototype, and then I want you to have it as thanks. Fascinating. Knight's Sidearm. It is a 44 Magnum. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, I'm kind of into energy weapons, but you know. Alright, so we need to do a thing with who? What are we doing today, I wonder? Can we go upstairs? Probably. Probably a good idea. Oh my god, there's wings. And my game crashed. Kind of. Fantastic. Fantastic day to play Fallout. And we're an hour 12 in, which is good, but we could do more. Okay, can we please have my frickin'... have my frickin' mouse back? Because load screen crashes just fuck everything up, don't they? There. Alright. Cool. Probably gonna need that. Some more. Okay. Trying to chew gum. Alright, what's up here? Upper floor. Oh my god. So many places. Everywhere. Mass hysteria. A-Wing, how about that? Okay. Oh. Just quarters? Is that all that's here, or are there researchers too? Suppose it's just quarters. Hmm. 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 Hold on, what is this? Nothing. Alright, what about the upper floors? I thought it'd just be labs on labs on labs, but I guess I was mistaken. Okay, fascinating. Okay, we're not doing that then. Hello, Fuller. Do you need something? As head researcher of Tesla technology here at the Academy, I am a very busy man, so please be brief. Hold on. Do you need any help? No, I do not need any help. I'm not sure why you would think I would need your help. I am one of the leading minds of the Brotherhood of Steel. This research is my own, and mine alone. Did you design the Tesla cannon? I led the team of scribes that designed the Tesla cannon, so I can't take all of the credit for winning the war against the Enclave, but I gladly take my fair share. No, I was the one that brought you the Tesla coil from Old Olney. Is that so? I heard the Brotherhood had sent some native after it. Well, are you waiting? What are you waiting for? Thanks? Or do you want a few of those rusty bottle caps that you wastelanders scrounge around in the dirt for? I don't remember you thanking me for giving you the weapon that shot vertibirds out of the sky like you were swatting flies. I'm not some common wastelander, I'm a field marshal. Field marshal? I had forgotten Elder Lyons had bestowed upon you that rank. Did he also give you a medal made of pyrite? Nevertheless, I apologize if I sounded rude. I'm sure you can understand the pressure that I'm under as a researcher of the future of weapons. Can you tell me about Tesla weaponry? I'm not sure I have the time nor the mental will to explain the science of Tesla technology to you. You seem a bit high-strung. An acute observation. I'm sorry, were you expecting me to elaborate? Okay, Greenlee. What is up with your dude? Pleasure to meet you, Field Marshal. I am Apprentice Greenlee, assistant to Scribe Fuller and his Tesla research. Everything going well with your apprenticeship? I am very fortunate to work under Scribe Fowler. He is one of the brightest scribes in the Order of the Sword, and I have already learned much from him. But ever since I started working for him, I think there is something wrong. I can't help but wonder if Scribe Fowler is, and I don't know how to put this, mentally well. What exactly do you think is wrong with him? I'm not sure. It just seems like his mind is all over the place. And not in the scatterbrained way most scribes think. He sometimes forgets who I am, which I guess isn't too abnormal, as I'm just an apprentice. I'm used to being ignored. But it is more than that. Sometimes he will call me Scrivenor, the name of his last assistant. In fact, there are times where I think he believes he's back at the Citadel. I know some scribes are just absent-minded, but I'm just worried that I could be seeing the signs of something serious. Whenever I express my concern, no one really listens. Scribe Fuller is especially dismissive. I'm just an apprentice after all. But you are the field marshal. People listen to you. Would you be willing to check on Scribe Fuller and make sure he is all right? I'll check on him. Thank you, Field Marshal. I appreciate it. I really do. Scribes rarely admit if anything is wrong, especially if there is something that might disrupt their research. I wouldn't be surprised if Scribe Fuller refuses to speak to you about his health. You might have better luck talking with Dr. Hermes over in administration. Scribe Fuller has been visiting his clinic rather often due to what he claims to be just a headache, but I'm not sure if that is the only reason. I'm just hoping you can convince Scribe Fuller to take care of himself. That is all I really want. What kind of work do you assist? Mostly like paperwork and more mundane parts of research. It would be nice if I got to do some more hands-on research, but Scribe Fuller is very protective of his work. Makes me wonder why I'm even here serving as his apprentice. But I'm not sure he could stay organized without me. He can never remember when his weekly meetings with Senior Scribe Free are, and I'm always having to log in him into his own terminal. Guess I'm learning about Tesla technology, but you interested in Tesla technology? Oh, very much so. I specifically requested to serve under Scribe Fuller because of his research. It was kind of a miracle his assistant left when she did, and my request to fill her vacancy was approved. I'm starting to wonder, though, if it was really a miracle or if it was just bad luck. How long have you been an apprentice? Not for very long. It is under Scribe Fuller that I have my first real apprenticeship. I did assist somewhat with the scribes at the Citadel. It will be some time before I earn the right to call myself a journeyman, and even longer before I can wear the robes of a scribe. Just gotta tough it out until then. Why is Scribe Fuller so irritable? I mean, he is a very busy man who has a lot on his shoulders. Tesla cannon he worked on may have earned him some prestige, but such success also brought with it many expectations. I think he might have some health-related issues, but I'm not too sure about that. I'll look into it. I'm probably going to talk to his treating physician first.
Hey.
The elder. I'm looking for the younger. Hey. Must be the Field Marshal, charmed, I'm sure. What brings you to the Academy? Here to see the newest wonders produced by the Order of the Sword? Please, let me know if there is anything I can do for you. Research anything interesting? I'm currently trying to improve the stabilization of plasma rifles. Although I'm having a hard time determining if turning people into goo is a fault or a feature of plasma weapons. Why do you share the same name as the Academy? My great-great-great, I'm not sure how many greats, grandmother was a famous scribe. Grandma Vree was head scribe during a big war with some super mutants out west in California. It was very long ago. You'll find a few Vrees here at the Academy. My mother's senior scribe Vree, my twin sister, and also my baby sister, Knight Captain Vree. Can you tell me about your family? Well, my sister studies laser weaponry, so that should tell you how boring and old-fashioned she is. My other sister's a knight, so that makes her the black sheep of the family. Mom sure wasn't happy when she heard about her career choice. That was one of the few times I saw Mom express any real emotion about her daughters. I mean, I know she cares about us. It's just that Mom has just always had her eye on the prize, the position of head scribe. My sisters and I just try to stay out of her way. But you know, I think she still loves us. At least I hope she does. Sister told me to steal research data from you and give it to her. That bitch! Damn it, I'm not letting her steal any more research data from me. What? I'll pay you with a real weapon. One of my prototype plasma pistols, or plasma rifles. Sounds pretty good, right? I'm struggling to think which way is better. I hope it's not a plasma caster, please. She said it would be a rifle, so I assume it's a rifle. Gauss rifle, huh? Interesting. Interesting. And here we have a bathroom, where I try to fling out open all the doors. Because I am OCD like that. Hello, Long. You must be the Field Marshal. I have to say you're a bit younger than I would have expected for such an important position. But then again, everyone is young to me. And now, what can the expert of explosives do for you? Need any help? Are you a polite young person? Would you be willing to defuse a bomb for me? A patrol found it inside an abandoned military truck. I believe it is a pre-war prototype smart bomb. Anyhow, I was tinkering with it, and I think I may have accidentally armed it. Can you believe it? I should probably try to be more careful. Well, I'm not as young as I used to be, and my eyesight isn't the best at disarming bombs these days. Would you mind giving it a go for me? 30 seconds. 30-second timer in my face. Taking some water. Some water with stuff in it. That makes it turn red. Because I like red water, apparently. Tastes like fruit. Oh. Shouldn't this building be evacuated if there is a live bomb? Oh, I think everyone is much too busy to be evacuated. And besides, it doesn't seem set to a timer. There is no concern about it detonating. Sometimes it beeps, which is mildly annoying. Fuck, I'll try to disarm it. Oh, you might want to do more than just try. Here are 3 things I know for certain about the bomb from studying it. Firstly, It is linked to a detonator, not a timer. So, with the detonator most likely lost, it won't be blowing up anytime soon. Unless you make a mistake trying to defuse it, then it will probably detonate. Anyway, the second thing you should know about the bomb is that it seems to be able to repair itself. A self-repairing bomb. An oxymoron, I know. From what I can tell, the bomb can repair its wiring that has been cut. Unless successfully defused, at least. That is what I am theorizing. Lastly, this bomb is a prototype and wasn't meant for use on the battlefield. It's covered in notes and markings, so maybe there is something to suggest how to defuse it correctly. That's about all you need to know. So, best of luck and don't blow yourself up. Just keep talking, nobody explodes. Okay. So we're looking at red, blue, blue, yellow. Red, blue, blue, yellow. There are 4 sets of colored wires. Correct wire must be cut in each set in order to disarm the bomb. A feature of the prototype bomb is that the wires will reconnect if an incorrect wire is cut, meaning you will have to start over from the beginning if you make a mistake. If you cut the wrong wire, your explosive skill determines if you avoid exploding the bomb. Start. Which color? Red, blue, blue, yellow. Successfully diffused. Yeah, why couldn't they figure that out? Dude, it's in order. Here. Anything I can do? I defused the bomb. Great job. I knew you could do it. I hope you feel proud of yourself. I've always believed the thrill of defusing an unexploded ordnance was its own reward, but I'm sure you want something a bit more tangible. How about a prototype launcher I have been working on? That sounds fun, doesn't it? How long have you been studying explosives? Oh, long enough to have terrible hearing, if that's what you're asking. I've also lost plenty of fingers. But I always have a glass of ice nearby to put them in, so they can be reattached later. How's research on explosives going? Oh, it is a booming, pun intended. Even in my old age, I'm learning more ways to make bigger explosions. There's just so much to learn. You've got frag mines, plasma mines, pulse mines, cryo mines. Can you believe that? Cryo mines. Who would have thought of something like that? It's a fascinating science. Is it safe to have all this ordnance in one room? Well, I can't very well study duds, can I? What is there to learn from something that doesn't work? Besides, I know where all the detonators are and how long the timers are for each bomb in my office. I'll keep the pins in, don't you worry. Okay. This guy is fucking insane.
What's up?
Hey, Jeffers. Hello there, Field Marshal. Lancer Captain Jeffers, at your service. Anything I could do? Well, yes, if you're offering there is something I could use your help with. I've been working on organizing a new branch of knights that specialize in operating alongside vertebrates. They are equipped with specialized power armor and are trained in airborne operations. Would you be interested in joining some of them on a training exercise? I'd love to have some feedback from the Field Marshal. Sure, I can join. Wonderful. I promise you will not be disappointed. You can find Knight O'Hare and Knight Houston at Castle Lyons waiting to be deployed. I can't wait to hear what you think of their tactics. What do you do? Besides representing the interests of the Order of Lancers, I assist Scribe Simmons with vertebrate research. I mean, I don't know how vertebrates fly, but I do know how to fly them, you dig? So I provide what practical experience I can. How did you join the Lancers? I was a knight before I joined the New Order. Ever since I was young, I always dreamed about flying. Hell, I remember when I was a kid at Rivet City, I'd jump into the cockpit of those broken jets and pretend I was taking off. When I heard about the Lancers, I just knew I had to join. I tell you, nothing beats flying. Do you enjoy working alongside scribes? I certainly feel like I'm on the outside looking in, if that is what you're asking. But, hi.
Sorry.
Sorry, Mom. Mom is a thing. But the scribes have always been a clique of their own, even when I was a knight at the Citadel. Still, it is hard denying that they are some of the smartest people in the Wasteland. Hey. Hello, Field Marshal. I am Scribe Simmons. If you have any questions about aeronautics or my research, please do not hesitate to ask. Do you need help with research? I don't need any help here at the Academy, but there is one thing you could do for me. At Lancer Captain Jeffers' insistence, I have been looking at ways to make vertibirds take off faster. A more advanced engine would allow Lancers to respond to field requests in the wasteland much faster. However, I believe I have reached the limit of what is possible in my lab. Good news is that the Enclave may have already been developing an experimental vertibird with a more advanced engine. Locating one of those experimental vertibirds would greatly help with my research. Where can I find one? It is difficult to say. We found some of the experimental vertibirds in the ruins of Raven Rock, but nothing could be salvaged. Enclave vertibird sightings have grown increasingly rarer these days as the Enclave have been running out of fuel due to losing their bases. That being said, the Enclave's comms tower at Castle Lions still picks up the automated distress signals sent by vertibirds when they crash. I've received word that recently a vertibird's distress signal with a unique frequency was detected. There is good chance that downed vertibird may be one of the prototypes the experimental engines. If you travel to the crash site and retrieve the engine parts, I can work on adapting those to a Brotherhood vertibird. I will see what I can find at the crash site. Good to hear, Field Marshal. The distress signal we picked up points to a crash site somewhere in between Evergreen Mills and Tenpenny Tower. Here are the schematics for the parts that interest me the most. No need to bring back the whole engine. Best of luck. How is research on vertibirds? Research is going well, despite the limited amount of data we recovered from the Enclave. Still, every day we are making improvements and learning how best to fly them. It may be a while until we can grow our vertibird fleet, but considering the demands of the wasteland, it is enough. How did you find yourself studying aeronautics? Mainly luck, although I had previous knowledge of vertibirds thanks to some data the Brotherhood brought from Lost Hills. When we took Adams Air Force Base, I began attempting to repair some of the vertibirds, and I suppose someone had noticed. You work with Knight Captain Jeffers? Ah, yes. Lancer Captain Jeffers, he is a very passionate man. While I certainly appreciate his enthusiasm and the practical experience he brings, he does dream a bit large. Why, very recently he was asking me how soon the Brotherhood could rebuild Rivet City into an aircraft carrier. Yeah, I wonder. Hi. Greetings, I am Scribe Luciano. Head researcher of melee weaponry. Is there something I can do for you, Field Marshal? Anything I did about... There is one thing you could do for me, Field Marshal, and it is not related to my research, but something much more personal. My husband was a paladin who had served in many campaigns across the wasteland. There are few who my husband had held in greater contempt than those known as raiders, and had slayed the very worst of their kind. Sadly, however, my husband fell in battle against a raider boss operating in Arlington, and while his body was recovered, his warhammer was not. I fear my husband's hammer now rests in the very hands of the foul raider that murdered him. Such a flagrant disrespect of my husband's legacy weighs heavy on my soul, and I cannot rest easy until the hammer is recovered. Would you do me the honor of avenging my late husband by recovering his hammer and slaying the raider that wrongfully wields it? I will recover it. Thank you, Field Marshal. My husband's murderer runs a gang of raiders somewhere in Arlington. I would focus on searching the underworld for him, as raiders so often make their homes in the dark metros and accompanying caverns. Work on melee weapons? I have studied and forged such weapons my whole life. Scribes study all technology. And ever since the fledgling days of Elder Maxon, there has existed a scribe dedicated to melee weapons. I carry out work not only on the noblest of weapons, but also continue on the traditional research of those before me. Melee weapons still valuable in this modern age? A well-crafted hammer might not at first appear to be as elaborate or as technologically astounding as the weapons my colleagues study. But should you find yourself backed into a corner and without ammo, a hammer forged of the finest steel will quickly deliver you from any peril. That is if you know how to wield such a mighty weapon. What sort of melee weapons do you specialize in? I forge all kinds of melee weaponry, but I find myself drawn to warhammers, in particular the mighty super sledge. Few weapons surpass it, and you will find it to be a favorite among many seasoned paladins. After all, honor is rarely gained in battle from afar with laser rifle. Do you enjoy working here? I will admit that I miss the military grandeur of the Citadel. There I could forge a weapon and in an hour find it a home in the hands of a knight or paladin. But perhaps I am just being nostalgic for the place where I met my husband. The scribes here certainly know how to tidy up here better than the knights at the Citadel. Can you tell me a bit more about your late husband? I am always ready to sing the praises of my late husband. He was an honorable warrior and loving friend. I'll never forget when he brought back the skull of a behemoth with its cranium smashed in by the hammer I forged for him. It was quite the romantic. But it is hard not to feel a creeping sadness every time I reminisce about him. Still, the comforting memory of him is enough to hold back the tears. Hammer is most likely in the hands of accompanying caverns. Okay. Cool. Okay. Fascinating. Right, and I was going to check with his physician before I came to any conclusions. quaint little balcony. Do you have a name? You don't have a name. So you are not worth my time. Oh, geez. What time? Okay. Hour 45. Good God. We are not even done. Oh. And my throat's getting scratchy. We have a whole other building of people to talk to. In excruciating detail. With excruciating grammar some of the time. Well, actually, no, it's not excruciating grammar. It's just your run-of-the-mill, missing a word here, article there, type of shit. You know how it is for amateur writers. They don't really know how to do it until they do it. And this is very obviously a first project kind of thing, working the kinks out and all that. So I kind of get it. It's just annoying sometimes when you're when you think that you could do better than that, when in fact you probably can't. Feel Marshall? Wanted to talk to you about Scribe Fuller's health. Sorry, but I probably shouldn't be discussing a patient's health. I mean, yeah. I might just be a well-dressed combat medic, but I understand doctor-patient confidentiality. I'm just concerned. This is just a conversation between two medical professions. Maybe I can help. Well, I suppose I could use the help. A lot of this doctor stuff is new to me. I'm more accustomed to injecting medics on the battlefield, not prescribing medication. Alright, I'll share with you Scribe Fuller's patient report. He seems to be showing the signs for early onset dementia. It's pretty rare for someone his age. There is nothing he can do to stop it, but he can at least slow down the progression of the disease through taking certain steps. But Scribe Fuller is refusing to take it seriously. I think he is just in denial, but who can blame him? Dementia is a big thing to face down. Maybe you will have better luck than I did at convincing him to at least try to mitigate the symptoms.
What's up?
Okay, yeah, we could do this now and do a kind of wrap-up before I get on to the quill and talking to people. And I'm probably not going to be able to do that tonight, so... Sorry, people, I couldn't get through all of the VRA in one night, so... Before speaking would be frowned upon in this establishment. Or rather, speaking clearly would be frowned upon. So, I might go ahead and hit up the other... Well, actually, no, I am getting a bit headachy. I don't know, man. You, can I help you? I have a patient report that says you may have early onset dementia. Where the hell did you get that? You have no business going through my private medical records. I'm going to have a word with Dr. Hermes. This is pretty serious. It says you are ignoring Dr. Hermes' advice. I feel perfectly fine. Might have headaches, and I might not always remember certain things, but my work continues uninterrupted. If you don't act now, the dementia will progress rapidly, and your work will suffer. There is no use in denying it. I know you were right. Every morning I wake up, I feel like more of my mind has faded. And Dr. Hermes told me that I might be developing dementia at a young age. Well, I didn't want to believe him. I'm not an old man. I still have a full set of hair and perfect eyesight. Thought worrying about dementia would just distract me from my work, but now I understand how damaging it will be to my research if I do nothing. I promise to take this more seriously for the good of my research. Would you do me a favor and ask Apprentice Greenlee to schedule an appointment with Dr. Hermes for me? I have much to think about. Well, I still can. Scribe Fuller has agreed to take his medical issues seriously and to listen to Dr. Hermes. What a relief. I'll schedule an appointment right away. Hopefully Scribe Fuller can get the help he needs and research can continue like normal. Thank you, Field Marshal, for taking time to help. It means a lot. Here, I want you to have this Tesla rifle Scribe Fuller and I have been working on. Tesla Rifle Mark II. Interesting. Parade on Penn Avenue. Really? Alright. I suppose it's time to do some sneaking. Figure out which way is better for me. Fuck. B. Cancel. AR9. Is her password easier to find? I don't know. You know what? Maybe I should just talk to her now. Can I help you? Tell me about senior scrivery. Say my mother is dedicated to her research would be an understatement. Growing up, I always heard the story of when she gave birth to my sister and I. Allegedly she gave birth to me during her lunch break, and then later gave birth to my sister after her shift in the lab was over. It's just a dumb story, but once you speak with my mother, it's easy to start believing it. Tell me about what I study energy weapons here at the Academy within this. I find that many are turning towards plasma, Tesla, even Gauss. But in my opinion, tried and true laser rifle still reigns supreme. I suppose I should go check their quarters for a password. Hey. Whatever. Right, they want me to go see the... They want me to go to the Quill. Talked to one guy, came up with the passwords, or the password structure or something. Oh my god.
Good to see you.
Hey you. How are we? 57? Oh my god. Okay, actually, I think that's about it. We can go through Order of the Quill next time, and God, my head hurts. So, going through my spiel. I'm LifeSeeker128 on YouTube and Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, go see my YouTube. I've got all the VODs there. And if you're watching on YouTube, go check out my Twitch. I'm probably live right now. I've been trying to keep to a schedule of mostly nights with some afternoons, and I've been kind of rebalancing that to mostly afternoons. But, I don't know, real life always happens, so yeah. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow my channels for more of this content. If you're interested, I am basically playing through the entirety of Fallout 3 and Rebuild the Capital while reading out all non-voiced writing or dialogue. So far it's been fun, but a little tiring. But I'm sort of getting to the end of that side of this game. So, yeah. Eventually I'll get on to New Vegas. And it'll be cool. And things will be somewhat new to me. Although not really, because I already did like half of a playthrough of that before. But anyway, this is A Tale of Two Wastelands, and I enjoy it. And I think that's about it. Alright, so as always, More, more to come.
Evening.
Bye bye.